Hi, everybody. Welcome to the TGIF Business Networking Blab. I'm your host, Melanie McDonald. I'm a provider of freelance services for small business owners and solopreneurs, including graphic design, copywriting, editing and proofing, and social media services. Joining me today is Denny Marks, owner of Your Promotional Products, a promotional products company with a catalog online. And we're going to talk about how to choose the right promotional product for your business event. So if you're ever going to have a booth at an event, for example, or go around to meet with potential clients, and you want to leave them a gift, something to remember you by, or you want to give out promotional items at your booth that are imprinted with your logo and tagline or a message, how do you know which are the right promotional products to use? How do you go about deciding what to use and what to choose? Denny's going to talk to us about that today. Denny, please go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your background and how did you get started in the promotional products business?
Well, initially, when all of the children are safely in school and they were old enough for me not to be around all the time, I went to work for a screen printer that did basically T-shirts, hats, jackets, anything that was logo imprinted on soft goods. I developed a great client base, and many of the people that I serviced on that job said that if I would go into my own business and became a general promotional product distributor, that they would give me all of their business. So I started my business a little over 30 years ago, and I've been doing it ever since. I've seen a lot of changes in the promotional market. People used to commonly call promotional products advertising specialties. It's an interchangeable phrase. Promotional products are advertising specialties, and they started way, way back in history. So you can do just about anything. You can put a logo on just about anything, and if it's available, I can find it.
Okay. And how do you go about sourcing your vendors? Do they usually contact you and say, I am a provider, I'm a printer, and here's some of the products we have and would love to be featured on your website? Or do you kind of meet them at networking mixers? How do you find your providers?
That happens. Although along the way, I've subscribed to promotional product associations, and the associations give me options to be able to go to a variety of different suppliers. Needless to say, I found the ones that I prefer doing work with best. You know, you can look at a pen, and pens will look the same. However, they're not all the same, even if they look alike.
Right.
Well, you know,
that experience.
More or less you have to compare apples and apples, not an apple and an orange.
I know what you mean, because I've had that experience with the pens where if I've gone to a convention or symposium and there's a lot of business booth there's, they all are giving out pens. And of course, I'll go around and collect the pens because I go through them so quickly. And some of you can tell the ones that are better made in the way the ink flows when you write, but also some of them don't actually have a full thing of ink. It's just this little teeny thing of ink. You use it like once or twice and then it's done.
Well, that is what makes a really inexpensive item that people buy. People call me all the time, and I will say to them, what are you trying to accomplish? Do you want something that's going to last a while, or do you want something that's going to self-destruct? The least amount of money pens are the ones that are going to run out of ink the quickest.
Right, and they're not really going to do much good because once it runs out of ink, I'm tossing it.
That's
right. So
right.
I no longer have that company's business info in front of me to remind me every time I use it.
Well, that's right. That's why I have this little brochure. Apples to apples, you got to compare.
Oh, that's great. And you provide that to your clients who are, now, what do you do with that
Well,
flyer?
I have someone new who has never worked with me. I send them a little kit with some information that will help them. I have a form that I ask people to fill out where they need to brainstorm what they are planning to do. First of all, what is their project? Who are they trying to get to? What do they want to accomplish? What are they looking for in a budget? Obviously, if someone is on a very small budget, I'm going to look at in a different area than I am for someone who wants something that is superior quality and they want to hand it out to people that are going, if they are a firm that is a very high quality firm, they want to give something that is perceived as high quality. So that's what the differences are. And it doesn't matter how small a business is, there are always items that people are going to retain and keep using, like this. This is a hand fan.
Oh, yes.
You know,
especially out here in the desert. We live in the desert area in the Coachella Valley,
that's right.
near Palm Springs.
That's
and
right.
Boy, we like those hand fans.
The hand fans have a particularly large.
They're great, yeah.
So you can do just about anything on a hand fan. You can get something as reasonable as what Subway did for one of their promotions.
Right.
Sunglasses.
Now, that has more of a novelty.
That's right.
I mean, it's not going to be practically used, but people might like it just for the fun and novelty. But I like what you said about planning. And I want to give an example, because one of the things to keep in mind when you're planning is what is the circumstance under which you're going to give out your items. Because I have 2 pens here, and this top one is Desert Veterinary Services.
Right.
There's no phone number. It just says Desert Veterinary Services. There's no website. There's no phone number. However, I got the pen from the Desert Veterinary Services offices when I was taking my old kitty there, and they were taking very good care of them. So I know who they are. I had their phone number already. I was in regular contact with them because of the care that my cat needed, and I knew where their offices was. So this is just a reminder to me that, hey, they're there. If I need them again, I know where to go. On the other hand, this pen, which is First Solar, again, no phone number, no website, the logo and the name, but this pen I picked up at one of those symposiums somewhere, a business expo, where there were just booths and booths of businesses giving out their items. So I don't know who First Solar is. I don't, am I going to get up and go do a search for them? I don't know, because out here in the Coachella Valley, there are several solar power providers, people who want to put solar roofs on your homes. It's a big industry here, especially, we're in Southern California, we're the desert. And if I'm collecting pens from their booths and somebody's got a pen with their website on it or their phone number on it, I'm going to use that one first because it gives me a place to go to find more information. So these are some of the things that you want to think about when you're marketing. Yes, it's great to have your logo on there, but and then, then what?
When I'm doing a pen project for someone, I don't leave it up to them to send me all the information. I will commonly ask, do you want your telephone number or your website or both?
Right.
And it really depends upon their logo. Now, this is mine. This is my pen. And I have,
higher up.
I have my logo.
Oh.
I have my website, and I have my phone number.
And it all fits.
And it all fits. Yeah. And it all fits. And something that is really very handy nowadays, this particular pen is a very good writing pen. However, you can twist it open and closed, and the top is a stylus. So it can be used
Oh,
on a cell phone or a touch tone screen.
oh, that's good. That is definitely apt to be used a lot more, especially
That's
with people pushing their buttons on their phone all the time. And if they have nice long nails like yours, those things come in handy.
They don't respond to, yes, they don't respond to nails, only to.
Right. And this is, as a graphic designer, when somebody approaches me about a logo or asking for advice for a logo, I like to tell them, simpler is better. Because there are some people out there that I see, they tell me their idea for their logo, and it's like this fabulous piece of art, but it's so busy. And the two things I tell them are, remember, you want your logo to be something that people can see on a billboard, and the 2 seconds it takes to drive past it at freeway speeds and be able to take it in, and you're going to want it to fit on a pen. And it's got to be something kind of easy and simple, because the cleaner and more simple it is, the more you're going to be able to use it for a lot of different purposes, and the more easily it will stick in people's minds and come to mind.
You are so right.
I mean, look at all the logos that we know by heart. Nike, it's a swoosh. Target, it's what it says. It's a little bullseye target. But these are the logos. The McDonald's is just an M. I hate to use that because they're fast food and it's so bad for you. But point being, simple logo, well-known, easy to remember. All I have to say is swoosh to a room full of people, and they'll all say Nike.
Don't you agree? As I tell my clients that come with logos that are complicated, take this one. This is a beautiful logo. However, it is a 4-color process logo.
Oh, yeah.
So I tell my clients, send me your logo the way you like it most of the time, but make sure to also send me sampling that's a 1-color, or a 2-color, something that is simple enough so that we don't have issues when we're putting them on items.
Right.
It's got to be for a logo like this to look great on a piece of paper, but it's another thing when you're putting it on a product.
Right. It's got to be able to translate easily to black and white, grayscale.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Hi, Peter. Thanks for joining us. If you'd like to come in and ask any questions, please feel free to submit a question or even join us in your open seat. Okay, so we talked a little bit about some of the considerations about when you're planning, what kind of event you're going to, giving it out in the office versus at like a business expo type of event. So let me ask you this, Denny. Let's say I'm going to a business expo type of event, and everybody there is giving out pens. And what's some of the advice you would give me so that my product maybe would stand out a little more than the others?
Okay. How about something as simple as a letter opener? People use them all the time.
Right, and it's not going to run out of ink and get thrown away.
That's exactly right. I have some in my drawer that I've had for 20 years. Post-it notes.
Because everybody's giving out pens, they need something to write on.
In different sizes. They also come in Post-it note cubes, and in note cubes, you've seen those forever. Something that someone's going to use all the time, a flashlight key fob.
Right.
Has good ad space. People are going to use them because you can get light from it. Yeah. What else? I
have to say I do like the stick-its and the notepads. I always grab the notepads if somebody's giving one out, and every time I use a sheet of paper, their message is right there. Yeah.
There's a notepad that I do for a customer all the time.
Yeah.
What else? Something as simple as an inexpensive coaster. I showed you a mug. There are all types of travel mugs and inexpensive travel items that you can carry in your car that take a good logo. If you are dealing with children, an inexpensive backpack. This is something that was done for a nonprofit organization here in the Valley, recently delivered. This was done for Palm Desert High School. It's a water bottle holder with a strap. It really depends on what your budget is. There are a lot of things out there, and my website is a great way to go because you can look up products and you can also look them up by price category. So if you go like from $5 to $10, you're only going to get items coming up from $5 to $10. If you're looking for something 99 cents to a couple of dollars, you'll get that coming up on the screen. You have a way to browse many different ways. And it's
now people can order right from your website. Is that correct?
No,
they have to call you.
It does say that people can do that, but because my prices are not the same as normally posted, they usually will be less. And if it's a nonprofit organization or a supporter of that is going to be donating items to the nonprofit, I will give them a better price. But generally speaking, my pricings on the website, when it goes through the office, will be less than what you see listed.
And my experience has been, it's been nice because even if I've known what I was looking for when I've called you, I will send you the link to the item I was looking for and say, you know, this is the kind of thing that I want. And you've come back to me a few times and said, oh yeah, you know what? I have another vendor who offers this at a better price, or I have another vendor who offers this at same quality but better price.
That's right.
Or excuse me, same price but better quality. So it's been great for me as a customer using your promotional products to speak with you in person. And plus, if I'm not really sure what I'm looking for, it's been nice because I've told you what the event was I was going to, what the audience was, like you said, that I was giving out to, and you've made a few recommendations to me of what to use. So that's been, you know, and this was when I was working at a regular job, and it was so nice because I had so many things on my plate to do and so many phone calls. It was like it took a load off my shoulders to be able to have that one-stop shop and say, this is what I need, this is what I have to do. And then like you went and took care of it all. All I had to do was sign the paper and hear your report back to me of what was best.
That's what I do.
Yeah, which made it really convenient. So kudos for that. And if anybody is watching, yourpp.info is your promotional products website. It's showing in one of our windows there. You can click it. When you're watching the recording, I don't think you'll be able to click it and go there, but you'll see the website address, which is, again, is yourpp.info. Any final thoughts, last advice that you'd like to give to anybody who is thinking about using promotional products, maybe for the first time? Well, I remember there was one thing I wanted to ask you about too, and that was quantity. Can you buy, usually with promotional products, you think you have to buy a large quantity. Can you buy a smaller quantity? Because what if I was just going around to my territory and my clients in that territory, and I wanted to give them, you know, something nice after a meeting to remember me by, and it's not going to be 500 things.
It does depend on what the item is. Certain items, the smaller items, have higher minimums, but occasionally the factories will permit you to do half the minimum, but they will charge an overall less than minimum charge. It could go anywhere from $30 up to $50. It depends on what it is.
Gotcha.
But there are some items. I think this little piggy bank, I think you can get as few as 50 of these.
Okay.
This was done for
Right.
a bank. And coffee mugs are generally, your minimum is 72. And if you do less than minimum, there's a less than minimum charge. You can do 36. That would be like the minimum.
Now, do you do also items like plaques and awards that might be, 1 to 10 and with a different name on each one?
I can do onesie plaques. I just did one for a nonprofit in the Los Angeles area. And I'm doing plaques for the Valley Industry and Commerce Association in Los Angeles. I do their awards, Hall of Fame awards, every year. And they do 7. They do 7 every year.
So
but
you do specialty products in addition to promotional stuff?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I've done a lot of them.
All right. Awesome. And okay, now if you have any last pieces of advice or last thoughts that you'd like to give to anybody who is going to check out this video, what would that be?
Well, I would just like to say that it doesn't matter the size of the business. You can always enhance your marketing by using some type of a promotional product. Best are the ones that are seen every day or handled every day, and it's a very long lasting. It's longer lasting than an ad on television. It's longer lasting than a coupon in the newspaper. I would say women have at least 5 to 8 logo imprinted caps. Bags, everybody walks around the street with a logo imprinted tote bag. That tells a story wherever you go. So, and there are some that are less expensive than others. It depends. It really depends on what your plan is, what your budget is. But there's something out there for everybody who wants to do something.
You know what? You brought up the tote bags, and I have to say that is a really big deal. And also, speaking about environmentally speaking, in California, plastic bags have been banned statewide, and that happened this year, I think. So a perfect opportunity for a promotional product now is those reusable shopping bags. And I know that there's some out there that are made from recycled water bottles and recycled plastics. There's also different ones made out of cloth, but yeah, and those are great. I mean, I have a stash of them. You're right. And each one of them has somebody's logo on it. I've got a few from the city of Indio, for example, and I've got couple of them from different water districts because they're giving them out. So it's great. And I use them all the time, but not only, it's not as much about I'm seeing the logo, but when I'm carrying them on my shoulder, it's everybody else is seeing that logo. So those are a really good one, and keeping kind of updated on what's happening in your state environmentally is a good way to go, because that's a great opportunity. I know all the water agencies are having a big push on tap water. That tap water is better in many cases than bottled water. And plastic bottles are cluttering up landfills. They're getting out into the streams and the oceans, and they're causing all kinds of havoc in the environment. So there's a lot of push to replace those plastic bottles with, say, stainless steel or reusable beverage holders. And those are another opportunity to put your logo in front of somebody. So, people drive to work in their car with their coffee holder every day, and they use it every day. So that's your logo right in front of them if you're giving those out.
This is a big item.
Yeah.
People love them. They're not super expensive, and they use it over and over and over again.
Right. Are they dishwashable?
Dishwasher.
Oh, great. Yeah. So, yeah, keeping up with that kind of thing. And also, for me, Denny, because I'm kind of always conscious of the environmental impact of these things, I've always asked you for products that were made from recycled materials. And those are selling pretty well now, right? Or have you seen an increase in demand for those?
Two of my bugaboos. Okay. Number one is really trying to get people, even though they may have to spend a few pennies more, to go with recycled material. And also, I like to keep as much of my business here in the United States as I possibly can.
Yeah.
A lot of these bags are made overseas, but at least if they are decorated here, something is happening here in the United States that's contributing to our economy. And I feel very strongly about that.
Okay. And have you found that there's been an increased demand for products made from recycled materials, or not so much?
Yes.
Yes, there has?
Yes.
Okay.
And if someone doesn't specify, I always ask them, I always tell them that I really like to go as eco-friendly as possible. So would they entertain the thought, even if it was a few pennies more, to get something that is recycled or recyclable?
Well, it provides extra marketing oomph for them when they can say our stuff is environmentally friendly. We care about our community too. So we're going to put our promotional products out, but we are going to care enough about the community and our environment to use ones that are made from recycled materials and are recyclable when they're done.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Denny, for joining us today. It's been a great chat, great blab about promotional products and the different strategies behind choosing the right promotional products for your business, for your event, and what's going to make the most impact and what's going to stay with people the most. It's been a great talk. Thank you so much for joining me. Despite having all those troubles in the beginning, you're a real trooper. You're awesome. You stuck with it and you came in, and we had an excellent, informative interview, I think.
Thank you, Melanie.
All right. Have a great day. My name is Melanie MacDonald. I'm your host. You can go to melaniemacdonald.com. On Twitter, I am at @1melanie, and find out more about the services I offer to small business owners and solopreneurs: affordable graphic design, copywriting, editing, and social media services. Denny's website is yourpp.info. Her phone number is on there. So if you're thinking about getting some promotional products to market your business at special events, then go ahead and go to yourpp.info. All right. Have a great day, Denny.
Bye.
I'm going to stop recording.